This is Real Deal Sports Talk with KP, November 1st, 2018.
Mr. Green.
I'm found to be the nicest. On the mic it with rhyme right in my mind states God cipher divine righteous. This is the sound of refinement. Extra time spent on every line written. You can hear the difference when I'm rhyming. The barbarian rap writings like Clash of the Titans. I wield the pen like Poseidon holding the golden triton. On the mic I strike faster than vipers and flashes of bolts of lightning. My poetry will leave the Pope enlightened. Whack rappers is pastime, you paid the Pied Piper. As the price just skyrocket, I stand to make a profit. I rap circles and spirals above your favorite artist, like an identifiable flying object with balls so far over your head. I'm honest to be rhyming in high orbit. If I dumb the metaphors down, you think the sky was falling. Rappers' arms too short to shadow box with the lords in the pantheon of rap. I'm the high exalted, the new God flow. Prepare your offering. I treat the booth like the synagogue, cause the mic's my calling. I should congregate a following, although agnostic. You felt the flow was God sent, further personifying my Messiah complex. I'm a wordsmith, the Wizard of Oz over percussion, throwing up sick bars. My flow fucking disgusting. Cutting edge caliber, higher purpose and vision. We write our own rhymes, you buying verses that's written. Mixed martial bars that'll beat you into submission. Lethal like a steel desert eagle with precision. Switch the elements, I'm the alchemist when I'm mixing metals. Accelerate on these devils, we reaching different levels in my own zone in this game. Like I play alone, breaking bones like a giant in the Game of Thrones. I hire breathe like a dragon when he fire breathe. I'm never separated from the mic, it's like we Siamese. Ultramagnetic MCs spit it magnificent, so deliberate with the sickest shit, it's ridiculous. Patterned after the greatest to ever do it, the legends destined to manifest on this earth. What's up in heaven? In 24/7, this presentation is feature worthy. Got so much class, I study, I'm never leaving early. Every song sensational, heavy rotational. Snakes will try to copy this style, but they not capable. Overcame problems, could damage a man's confidence, and now we making music that travels across continents. You could call me Mars with these bars, I'm like the god of war, a battle rap cannibalistic beast, a carnivore.
Aha! Love it. The Barbarians intro. That's their track. You know, we keep the Barbarians pumping on this show. They are the exclusive music right now of Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. It is November 1st. We're into a new month. This year is almost over. For some of you, you might not have noticed that this much time has gone by. You're starting to wonder what happened to 2018. We got to get ready for 2019. Let's finish out this year strong in our personal lives with each other. Let's go out and make sure we vote this week. If you know somebody in your life who's like, I don't vote, I'm not going to vote, it's not going to change anything, go have a conversation with them. Reach out to them. See if you might be able to change their mind, because every vote in local elections, in these elections that are taking place, these midterm elections, does count, especially right now more than ever. Yes, the system is broken. Yes, the system has a lot that needs to happen to be fixed. So does this country. But the fact of the matter is, if we are not standing up for us, by voting, we are giving up on us and allowing them to have more power to make our lives miserable. I'm not going to stand for that. My ballot is in. My ballot has been counted. I urge all of you to go out and vote. Let's finish out 2018 strong. Let's try and make ourselves proud. Let's try and make our friends and family proud. Do good at work. Do good with our loved ones. Try and meet some new people and put smiles on people's faces. That's my challenge to everybody for the rest of 2018. So we got sports to talk about, of course, today. We also have some announcements to make. The WNBA, they make a major announcement today. Jimmy Butler's been benched. Red Sox fans are at it again. But we're going to start off with an announcement. This will be our last Thursday show moving forward. We will still do shows on Tuesdays, but we are going to move the Thursday show to Saturdays just to fit my schedule and give me a little more flexibility to get you guys more stories and more topics in between each time we get to talk. And I've had some suggestions and some people ask, why I don't do a weekend show as well. We used to do Saturdays. We used to have a Saturday morning show that we did with, and we had Chris Rupert on, who was our college football expert at the time, and that was a great show. We went away from Saturdays. Now we're going to give Saturdays a shot again. That's the flexibility we do have at Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. So that's out of the way. Let's get into who's doing what this week in the NFL and who they're going to do it against. Shall we? All right, we're 6 minutes in. Might as well get to it. All right, who's on a bye this week? The Cardinals, the Bengals, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Eagles. This is a big bye week. We got 6 teams taking the week off. And a lot of those teams needed a week off. Let me tell you what. Kicking off this week, you've got the Raiders. Everybody thought we're going to have more than one win at this point, against the 49ers, who everybody thought would have more than one win at this point. 49ers have battled injury. Raiders are battling their new czar, that is Gruden. It's a disaster in Oakland. The 49ers can't catch a break. You're probably only watching this game tonight if you're a fan of either team. And who knows what these two teams look like moving forward. I still think the Raiders are playing for 2020. Every move they're making. They didn't trade away some key players that I thought they might at the deadline, that there were rumors that they might at the deadline. We'll see what happens at the draft after the league year starts in March. 49ers, hey, they had their eggs in the Garoppolo basket, hoping he was going to be enough with the talent they had to be competitive. Now they've suffered injuries on both sides of the ball. Garoppolo's out with his injury, and you're sitting in a situation where you're just trying to get through. Mark Schlereth was talking on the radio that he's talked with Kyle Shanahan when he covered their game a couple weeks ago, and Kyle Shanahan told him, look, we're not good enough to win if we turn the ball over. We don't have enough on this team to make up for turnovers and make up for mistakes. Now, I like the honesty there, but it's shocking to hear something like that because normally you don't hear things like that. Now, maybe this is something he was telling Mark because he's known Mark, going back to the mid-'90s when he was a child. He's known Mark. And maybe Mark wasn't supposed to convey the story the way he did. But I like the honesty. That is refreshing to me. That's what this show is about. Let's be real about what the situation is. We're not going to put spin on it. We're not going to put optimism and hope. No, we're going to talk about the real stuff as much as we can. So the 49ers, they know they're struggling. They know they're hurting. The Raiders, they think they can still get on a run. The Bears are at Buffalo this week. Probably nobody going to get arrested for throwing a dildo on the field this week, as that seems to be something they only do against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Bears are looking pretty good. They're sitting in first place in the NFC North. Khalil Mack's been out with an ankle injury, so you're going to get him back for the stretch run. Improve that defense, which Pro Football Focus currently has ranked as the number 1 defense in the NFL. Tariq Cohen's getting big plays. Trubisky has been getting better throughout the season, a little more consistent. That receiving core is starting to get some things going. They definitely need to pick it up a lot more. Could be a tough battle. Could be a defensive battle. Could be a field goal game with this one. Buccaneers at Carolina. Fitzpatrick is the starter. Carolina's offense is rolling. They did not trade Deshaun Jackson. He's got to be happy knowing that Jameis Winston isn't the quarterback moving forward. You're getting a couple defenders back this week in Curry and McCoy. The Chiefs are at the Browns. Ken Dorsey left the Chiefs. He's now running the Browns. Browns blow everything up this week, so we'll see how it goes under interim coach Greg Williams this week, what kind of game plan they're going to instill. I expect a run-heavy game plan, some bootleg, probably not very many trick plays. And the Chiefs, you know what they're going to do. So the Browns are going to be forced to end up throwing at some point, no matter how much they want to run, unless they just control this and they're able to create some turnovers, which is possible. Best turnover margin in the NFL. Chiefs are looking strong. Defense is getting better. They're going to get a Justin Houston back at some point. Eric Berry's going to be back at some point. Jets at the Dolphins in the battle of who cares in the AFC East. I mean, what? It was exciting to see the Jets destroy the Lions in week 1. It was exciting to see them destroy the Broncos. Outside of that, what do they have that you want to get ready for and get up for right now? Their running game is hit and miss. Bilal Powell, their second pounder, is out for the rest of the season. You have a rookie quarterback who's not a Pro Bowler yet. Breaking news. These rookies that came in this year, they're not all pros. They're rookies. And you've got a receiving core that's a mixed match of guys that would not be 1s or 2s on most squads in the NFL. You got a defense that's getting better. It's young. They're flying around. But you could still use another linebacker, some interior help, pass rusher. And the Dolphins, Brock Osweiler wants to be the quarterback. Tannehill's coming back. Minka Fitzpatrick is their best defensive player. Cameron Wake is getting old. The rest of their defensive line has gone away, what we thought it was going to be, to what it is now. Steelers at the Ravens. This is probably going to be one of the better games of the weekend. Ravens coach taking a shot at Le'Veon Bell today. Le'Veon Bell still not back after week 8. Now we heard week 10 maybe, because at that point he forfeits even more money if he's not back by week 10, and then he can't come back. So we'll see what's going on there. Maybe he ends up sitting out the whole season and really just making a stand and taking this stance and saying, you know what, no, I'm not erasing the line and coming back. I drew a line in the sand, and I'm going to be a man, and I'm going to stand at it. We'll see. But James Conner's doing great. I'd like to see them get Juju Smith a little more involved this week. I wish there was more highlights of him playing football instead of, doing good deeds and dressing in costumes and showing up at parties. Ravens, they're just a tough team. You have to beat the Ravens. They're never going to be the most talented squad, but they are a squad that you have to beat. They are well coached. They have good technique. They execute the plays that are given to them. Lions at the Vikings. Who knows with this one? Vikings haven't been what everybody thought they were going to be. Hunter's had a great season, leading the league in sacks, tied for the league lead in sacks, 10. I believe he's at 10. He might be at 8. He's right there near the top. I don't remember where he was at on the list now. I know he's top 5. Everson Griffin's back. He's going to get more plays in the rotation this week. Adam Thielen, arguably the best receiver in the NFL, playing the best at the position in the NFL right now, the most consistent. Inside, outside, over the top. And he blocks. Stephon Diggs having a little health issue this week. We'll see if he's able to go on Sunday. Lions trade away Golden Tate this week. TJ Jones is going to be getting a little more snaps. You're definitely going to see some difference in the offense. You might see more reps from Theo Riddick if he's healthy and ready to go this week. I know he practiced. Falcons are at Washington this week. This one could be just a flat-out shootout. I really couldn't tell you why. It's not like the Redskins have a high-powered offense. But this one just has that feeling like, whoever has the ball last is going to win. Texans are here in Denver taking on the Broncos. We all know that Demaryius Thomas was traded to the Texans this week. I personally am on record as saying if Chris Harris, who I believe is going to be on Andre Hopkins most of the game, does not cover Demaryius Thomas is going to eat Bradley Roby's lunch. You might see Demaryius Thomas get 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, which will kill Denver fans because a lot of them wanted nothing more than to see a player of Demaryius Thomas's caliber to go away because they think he should be something other than what he is. You should hear how the tone and the verbiage and everything in this town has changed about these players and about football in general as they've started to have struggling seasons. It's really remarkable. If I was an anthropologist, I'd do a study on it. Chargers are at Seattle. LA, quality team. Still looking to get Joey Bosa back. Perriman, I believe, is back this week. Seattle's offense is starting to gel around that running game, which is allowing Russell Wilson to not have to do as much. And he's able to find Lockett. He's able to find Baldwin, who's managing his knee injury. He's able to find other guys that are open because Carson is just pounding people. He is thunder punching just right in the chest as he runs the ball. Rams are at the Saints. This will probably be the second best game of the weekend just because it's going to be more point oriented as opposed to what I like more, and that's that ground and pound, smash them up, Steelers, Ravens, AFC, NFC North style of playing the game. Expect to see a lot of points. I expect to see a lot of passing yards. We could see 1,000 passing yards between the two quarterbacks in this game. We might see 80 to 90 points in this game. It's going to be a fun one Sunday afternoon on Fox, that's for sure. And then Sunday night, you got Aaron Rodgers for the second time taking on Tom Brady. All the talk this week is who's the GOAT, who's the GOAT, who's the GOAT. The fact of the matter is they've both been very, very good. One has been very, very good for a lot longer. He's been on a tight squad that continues to pump out wins. Aaron Rodgers has been a supremely talented guy on a squad that does not want to spend money. And they are wasting his talent. And I agree with Stephen A. Smith, who this week said, he needs to demand a trade in the offseason. Because as cool as it is that the Packers are owned by the fans, that limits their ability and their cash flow. And they're not able to bring in as much talent and as many guys as some of these other teams who are owned by billionaires can because they have the cash on hand. Now you got to be willing, when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, to put talent around him. Green Bay got lucky. They were able to have talent around Brett Favre. They were able to get different running backs and receivers and tight ends that mixed well with what he did. That same thing cannot be said for Aaron Rodgers. He inherited some guys. Then they started letting guys go because they didn't want to pay him. Those guys didn't pan out anywhere else. Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, guys like that. So, you got to give him stuff to work with. Jimmy Graham, at the end of his career, what has he really contributed to Green Bay this year? Not much. Devontae Adams would be a great number 2. He's their number 1 guy. Randall Cobb they kept around because he's willing not to take a whole bunch of money. And when he was a free agent, nobody wanted him. Patriots, hey, give me what you got. We're going to work with it. James White, you got the most receptions in the league as a running back. Kyle Van Noy, you're now a useful football player. Julian Edelman, you were a quarterback in college. Now you're the top slot receiver in the NFL. They're just taking guys and letting them do what they do best. And as long as that's their game plan and they figure out how to attack you with what this guy and that guy can do best, each and every week, they're going to continue to be successful the way they are. Without having to spend that money. Without having to have all the talent. They can pick and choose. Then on Monday night, you have the Titans and the Cowboys. If you're a Titans and Cowboys fan, you're probably tuning in. I mean, it should be a good game, really. It should be a close game. I don't expect either team, if whoever wins, to blow the other one out in this one. Titans are solid on defense. My guess is they are going to take Ezekiel Elliott out and try and make Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper and Beasley try and beat him. And then let Jackson and Ryan and Butler and all those guys they have on the back end, Bird, make plays. That's what I would expect the Titans to come out and do. The Cowboys, I expect them to come out and try and use Ezekiel Elliott to the best of their ability. And then try and get Amari Cooper some big shots down the field. To try and show off their new weapon and be like, see, we made the right choice. Now, who do I actually see winning these games this week? Well, that's a different story. See, my picks for this week, and I noticed as I was making them, they're kind of a lot of road teams this week. I got some upsets for sure. Like I'm going to take Oakland tonight just because the 49ers are so banged up. They're missing so much. Oakland has a lot of their players still. They just aren't very good as a team. I'll take Chicago to go into Buffalo and win. I'll take Tampa Bay to upset Carolina. Maybe a little more Fitz magic in this one. Might see Deshaun Jackson and Evans go off a little bit. I'll take Kansas City to beat Cleveland. I'm going to take the Jets to beat Miami just because of their physicality. I think it's more than what Miami can bring to the table at this point. I'll take Pittsburgh to get by Baltimore with James Conner being the star and Antonio Brown probably scoring the winning points. I'm going to take Detroit to upset Minnesota, Atlanta to beat Washington. I will take Denver to hold home field and beat Houston. I'll take Seattle to continue their run and beat the Chargers. I'm taking New Orleans to outscore the undefeated Rams. I'll take Dallas getting past Tennessee. And I think New England ends up beating Green Bay. Those are my picks. That's week 9. All right, so I'm sure many of you have read this story or heard about this story, but the Timberwolves have decided to go ahead and bench Jimmy Butler until a trade can be found or they decide what to do with him. My first reaction when I saw that was, are you kidding me? You're going to bench? Why did you let him start playing? Why did you let the chemistry and all this stuff to be messed with longer than it needed to now come out 6-7 games into the season and go, okay, now we're going to bench him. You either have something on the table like the Rockets offer of 4 future first-round picks, or you screwed yourselves and Jimmy Butler. And what would be a catastrophic show of pure ignorance and futility. You said you wanted to trade him as the owner. The team says we don't want to trade him. The owner says we do want to trade him. Then you let him play. Hold team meetings. And now you're going to bench him, one of your better players on the squad, until something happens. And reports say it could last weeks, 6 weeks of him sitting on the bench, as long as it's going to take to get something done. Look, you're being offered 4 first-round picks, and now you're going to bench the guy? There's what you do. Make the phone call. Get it done. We'll take your picks. Here's your player. Congratulations. Move on. I mean, this is ridiculous what's going on. Really, you're benching him. Because now you're ready. See, normally when you see guys get benched or pulled out of a game or whatever, it's because the trade is about to be done. Like, it's going to be announced, hey, your time's up. Like, this is your last game. Grab your stuff out of your locker. Or we've even seen players traded at halftime, and then they don't come back out, and it's like, okay, you've been traded or pulled from the bench even and been told, here's your trade. You don't report, oh, we're going to let him sit there for 6 weeks. For what? You're not driving the price up higher than 4 first-round picks. Nobody's going to trade you their all-star. Get it done. The WNBA women are getting it done. I'm super proud of them. I back them 100% in their efforts to get equal pay to that of the NBA. And they have today announced that they're, with their union, they are opting out of the collective bargaining agreement. 2019 season will proceed as scheduled, but 2020 is up in the air right now. Now, these women are not asking for the same dollar amount as NBA players. They're not stupid. They know the WNBA does not generate the same amount of money as the NBA does. But even in that, they've been insulted in recent weeks as the G League announced their plans to offer top recruits who don't want to participate in the one-and-done system of the NCAA upwards of $125,000 a year, which is more than what WNBA players make. What they are asking for is the same percentage in revenue sharing so they can have the same percentage in player pay. That is fair. There's no reason owners should be pocketing more percentage-wise of the money that is generated because it's the women's league. So at this point, yes, opt out. If you have to, hold out. Because the 2020 season is in jeopardy. That's an Olympic year. These women can go overseas and make more money in those professional leagues than they are here. And they'll play year-round to do it. And they shouldn't have to. Equal it out. It's 2018, about to be 2019, and you can't go, you know what? We give the men, I think it's like 48% of the revenue, something like that. We're going to give you the same amount of the revenue that's brought in. The men might, somewhere between 48 and 52, I think, is what they get. Get at me if I'm wrong. I might have that percentage wrong, but if I'm wrong, let me know. So yeah, give them equal pay. I have no problem with that. Congratulations. It's going to be, it was a great announcement today, and it's going to be a good fight moving forward for women everywhere, because, you know, once the WNBA is able to accomplish this goal, which I hope they do, that will then spill over into other sectors, other professions, and we can get equal rights treatment for everybody. Like, I don't see why that's a problem. Outside of everybody scared of what's different. And they'll go, oh, no, I'm not scared. I'm big, bad, and tough, and I'll kick your butt. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Your feelings about it are rooted in one of the 5 basic feelings. And specifically fear is what causes not liking things that are different, or pushing them away, or wanting them to go away. That's rooted in fear. It's one of our basic human animal instincts to protect ourselves. But guess what else can protect ourselves? Knowledge, community, getting to know people, knowing how to treat people, knowing how to live around different people, and move on with your lives. It's a great thing. Red Sox fans, you got to, get yourselves out of the headlines for doing stupid stuff. Because you have your parade this week. You get your World Series, 16th title for Boston teams since 2002 or whatever. Everything's flying high. Then you got idiots out there throwing beer cans. And what happens with the beer cans? People are getting hurt with the beer cans. The idiot who threw a beer can that went towards the manager, Alex Cora, he gets arrested. Another idiot throws a beer can. It damages the World Series trophy. There's video of that. It breaks off one of the flags. Dents a couple others. In fact, that might be the beer can that went towards Alex Cora. So, I mean, come on. Come on, Boston. You're winning all these championships. Don't be the drunken fools. Don't be the numbskulls. Let's stay classy, shall we? Show everybody, look, we're at the top. We've got the trophies, all right? Like, look at us. We're Boston. We're the best. Not, look how stupid we are. We keep doing dumb things. You're better than that. You're better than that. We're in the show with today. Everybody, please, again, I implore you, don't try and mail in your ballots anymore. Go drop them off. Make plans to vote somehow, some way. Tuesday is voting day. This country is very much in turmoil right now. And where I think both parties have a lot to correct about themselves, we cannot continue to go down this route that the Republicans have us on. The Democrats are not saints by any means. But this path we're on has to change. We all need to change. So please, go out and vote. And until next time, you know how we do. Just be real.
D-Town, can you vibe to this? A D-Town getting down to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Took a powerful rip. It felt like a time traveler trip. My mind drifting to the cloudy abyss. Took my chalice and sip. Chicks admire how I'm styling my fit. I acknowledge with the smile of a prince. Can tell I'm piling my chips. The party's rocking, everybody was bent. Nobody wildin', ain't no violence in here. We all lounging for real. The smooth sounds got us vibing and shit. In D-Town, steady riding to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of brick. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of brick. Can you get down to
Living
this?
life to the fullest, it's an everyday philosophy. Walk up in the spot and get the party popping properly. Ain't no beef now, we just chilling inside. All the energy is positive, we feeling that vibe. Politicking with my people, we get the reminiscing how we flip the whole script. Now we in better position. Still be on a mission, turning dreams to fruition. Getting street knowledge, no fees, intuition. Think about the future, how we need to teach children. Already reached thousands, we about to reach millions. Break the glass ceiling, how your ass feeling? Like a superhero on these comic book villains in the Mile High City. You know we stay blazing. I'm high off this life though, the feeling is amazing. Never had nothing, now every day is celebrated. Glasses elevated tonight,
Can
we
you
getting
get down to
elevated.
this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to this? Can you get down to this? Can you get down to this? D-Town, can you vibe to this? And D-Town getting down to this. Can you get down to this? D-Town, can you vibe to this? And D-Town getting down with this. Can you get down to this?
Get down, get down, get down, get
Can you get down to this?
Get down, get down, get it up for the get
Can you get down to this?
Hey,
Can you get down to this?